Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and I did a video on this, actually the kit it comes in. This is the Zizzle from Civivi. It's a really basic knife, but a solid performer, especially for the $25 price tag. It comes in a kit with some other parts, but there is a larger version. It's not the same as the Zizzle, it's really close. This is the Sencut, and it doesn't have D2 steel in the blade. Instead, it's got the 9CR18 MOV, but this sells for about $39 street price. And as you can see, it's fairly big, but fairly similar. Again, it's got a textured G2 or G excuse me, a textured G10 handle, stainless steel liner lock design, kind of a modified drop point blade. The stainless steel, I mean, when I say this is like a 9CR18 MOV blade instead of a D2 blade, we're talking about essentially variations of many of the common stainless steels, such as like 440 and 420 stainless, but from other companies, as well as different hardening processes. Like D2 might come from an oil hardening process, and there's air hardening, there's water hardening, and a few other variations. But what we've got is a good solid knife, a flipper. I mean, it's reminiscent. I mean, it reminded me instantly of this Zizzle here, but a little bit larger. And, you know, you don't get the kit, but for 15 bucks more, if you really need a big knife, look at the standout holes right here and here on both knives. And the pocket clips. You know, this is satin here, but very similar. The cutouts, the finger indexing points with the liner lock, the pivots. This does, going up to a larger size, have thumb studs. If you want to use those, you certainly can. I prefer using the flipper as well. But not a bad knife at all. Overall length on this guy is about 8.6 inches. The blade length is about 3.8 inches, so it's fairly good size. In fact, you can really see, you know, a stunning difference here between these two. And then, of course, the weight on this is a bit more at about 4.75 ounces. But anyway, so what I'm also noticing here is the Wii knives, the Civivi knives, and then, of course, the Sencut knives, you know, in descending order of essentially price, possible / quality, includes a tech transfer. So what we're looking at is actually the ability for the knife to take on characteristics of its more expensive brethren that have come out prior. And those expensive, you know, features, once they become mainstream, start to drift into whatever the budget-friendly knife is. That is common across most industries. The best iPhones technology drifts down into the lower-priced stuff, and you know, the really high-end stuff stays in the top. But that high-end stuff continues to change. So if you don't mind being behind just a little bit, you can actually get what would have been a year or two, you know, in the a year or two outside the release dates, the top technology. So anyway, there it is. This, I haven't told you much about the name. Skarnax is a unusual name, Skarnax. I wouldn't have named it that, but that's what Sencut chose. So anyway, there it is. The Sencut Skarnax, which is very similar to a large Zizzle, which is very similar to other larger Civivis. So if you want a big knife with the same basically image footprint of the Zizzle, there you go. And with that, Doc out.